I feel like the title of this video could be I can't believe that I'm playing another Team Anpim game, because I keep going back to them purely because they're so good. Like, every time I play it, I just want to play more. And so I'm really glad that I'm getting into them a little bit later, because that way I can go back and play through older games. They actually have quite a few dating back to like 2015. And I'm slowly making my way from their newest games to their older games. I should be probably going from the old ones to the new ones, but I like doing this. I kind of get a feel for how they've progressed with their storytelling. And their art, for the most part, is pretty similar. I do like that. It's very consistent. But today we are going to be playing I Can't Believe the Most Popular Girl in School is a Lesbian Just Like Me. Now, if you've ever played a Team Anpim game or watched one, you will know that they're Yuri games. I don't need to explain that. I think it's pretty obvious from the title. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and check this out. The bitter cold of late January bites at my skin and shows no mercy. Students pack on layers of jackets and scarves in attempts to shield themselves from the chill. Hordes of students group together to catch each other up on the weekend. Us third years cry in joy over the completion of the horrid entrance exams. Now this is what I feared. So the other two most recent Anpim games are about adults, which I love. And this one is in a high school setting. I'm not a huge fan of high school settings. I think they can be good, but I'm not a huge fan of them. I think there's a lot more you can do when you're an adult, you know? There's a lot more scenarios you can create. But, you know, schools are fine too. I think everyone enjoys a good, you know, school anime, of course. So I think I'll enjoy this one too. But I just wanted to throw that out there that I am a little apprehensive of playing a more school setting after playing their more adult games I think are just amazing. But anyways, I'll stop ranting. I disregard the crowds and make my way towards my shoe locker, not eager to go to class. Good morning, Mizutani-san. Alright, let's hope I'm pronouncing that one right. I flash my signature polite smile. Good morning. Okay, so Hinata... Is it Hizutani? What was it? I'll just call her Hinata. How does that work? Hey, how did the exam go for you? You probably aced it. Haha, I survived, though I'm not sure if I aced it or not. Oh, don't be so humble. I'm sure the class's silent beauty topped everyone. The two classmates walk away and I send them off with that smile that I greeted them with. Once they leave, I wipe the smile off my face and recall all the stress that the dumb entrance exam has caused me. I probably barely passed. I'm no smart, regal, beautiful person that everyone thinks I am. I'm just a useless lesbian on the inside. But I can't let anyone know that. I'd be the victim of public shaming if I ever come out of the closet, especially in high school. I feel like that's changing. That's not so true nowadays, maybe in certain parts of the world, but I feel like for the most part people are pretty accepting. I've kept up this distant facade so people don't approach me as easily. If I made a close friend, my secret would surely leak, and I don't want that. Oh, so you're literally putting barriers around yourself. You're not gonna have friends, huh? If putting up this front means keeping my social standing alive, I'll do whatever it takes to keep it that way. Yeah, but why would you want to live such a fake life, you know? Even if it means repressing my gayness. There's only a few more months of high school left. I can survive for just a few more months. A sigh escapes me as I open my shoe locker and a letter greets me alongside my indoor shoes. What's this? It's a love letter. That's what I think it is. My hands reach for the letter and I open the plain-looking envelope. Dear Mizutani-san, I've admired you for a while now and I've never had the chance to really reach out to you. I think you're an incredibly beautiful person, and before I continue reading, the name of the author catches my eye at the bottom. Asagumo Isamu. Gumo-kun. Nope. I quickly close the letter and throw it into my trash can. Dang, she just shut him down so quick. Sorry, but I'm not interested in the least. It's because you're a guy. I receive a ton of love letters, but they're all from boys that I couldn't care less about. There's only one type of love letter that I want. There's only the ones that are sent by girls, which will probably never happen. The thought of this cruel, heteronormative world causes me to chew on my lip and cry internally. I whine too much about it, even though I'm fed up with myself. I switch my shoes while shaking myself out of this depressed lesbian mindset. I'm literally counting the days until graduation, awaiting the day I can step into a gay bar and land a girlfriend. As I'm about to close my locker, a high-pitched yelp is heard from a few feet away. Curious as to what happened, I take a peek and see a flood of what seems to be letters on the floor spilling from a locker. Another day with a locker filled with love letters. They never stop coming, do they? Haha, geez, it's not like I asked for them. Seems like the most popular girl in class is having the same troubles as I do, except she's just too popular to care about these finicky love letters. Wonder if she has girls sending her love letters too. I shake my head, wish I had a girl send me a love letter. Enough with that. To the classroom I go, back to fake my elegant mask of a persona. So with this variable, you solve this equation and then insert it into here. After that, you have to factor this and move this over. I hope you remember your stuff from last year. It's going to help you tons. The voice of the orange-haired math teacher lulls me to sleep, accompanied with the warm sun that was absent this morning. So I think the game that came before this is that game that has like the picture of the two cats for the cover of it, but it's actually like, you know, it's two girls. Doesn't she have orange hair? Is that who that's supposed to be? I'm not too sure about that. My eyes try their best to pay attention to the chalkboard, but in an attempt not to fall asleep, they wander around the classroom. The classroom's silent, filled with students either paying attention or secretly playing on their phones. Yeah, that sounds about right. It just looks like the everyday classroom setting, nothing new. I strive to look for something interesting to focus on, and as my eyes cruise in the direction diagonally from me, they settle on a certain Morishita-san. That must be her. Yep, it is. Morishita-san, the most popular girl in class. No, probably the most popular girl in school. And I'm going to make a prediction here, guys. I think she is a lesbian. What do you guys think? I'm just going on a guess there. I have nothing to back it up. I don't have the title of the game or anything to back it up. But I think she's a lesbian. We're going to find out. She's pretty and cute, yet she has this little devil personality that all the girls like. I've always had an eye on her because of that, and well, that's what popular people do to you, right? I might have garnered some popularity myself because I sit here and look somewhat pretty, but her popularity is off the charts. Everyone in school knows about her, including the teachers. Rumor has it that she has a modeling job in a magazine as well. I wonder if that was some inspiration for a future game that they made. Maybe. I do notice that they do like to reference their other games, which I think is awesome. It almost feels like it's a continuation of the last one, so that's why I'm always pointing things out like that. She's sitting prettily, staring at the teacher lecture us. Her stunning pink hair tucked behind her ears shines in the sun, making it even brighter than it already is. I'm really surprised she's allowed to have pink hair, because I know like Japanese schools are very against you like dyeing your hair crazy colors. Her expression is more of a solemn one compared to this morning's cheery look. Though whose face won't look bored listening to such a boring lesson? As expected of the girl labeled most popular in class, she's absolutely pretty and cute even if she looks bored to death. Those lips of hers look pink and plump as if they were crafted and painted by a master. It'd probably feel wonderful to kiss them, wouldn't it? You would be thinking. Oh my gosh, before I even started reading the next line, I saw a word. She didn't have a tremendous pair of breasts, but they look like they're just the perfect size, not ridiculously big, yet non-existent. Thank you. I'm glad, Hinata, that you are a woman of culture, because you don't want them too big, but you don't want them like too small either. Like, I mean, all sizes are nice, but you gotta have the right size, so I'm glad she's pointing this out. Her exposed porcelain skin is the envy of every girl, including me. Morishita-san's legs are slender, creating the illusion of long legs despite being of average height. They were crossed, so they're not in full view, but the cross-legged pose makes her seem even more poised and, dare I say, sexy. Sexily cute. I noticed the character in this one is a lot more upfront than some of the other games. I feel like the other games, the main character is a lot more... Like, they can be confident, but at the same time, they're really shy. I noticed she's a lot more just, like, upfront about how she feels about her. Interesting. But I guess that goes along with the fact that she's a little bit younger, too. I feel like at my age, you know, you don't really, like, think about that as much. But I guess when you're, like, a teenager, yeah, you would go to those features right away, huh? I give myself a mental punch in the face for thinking like a gross perverted old man. I hate it when I grovel at girls, but I can't help it. Let's be real, girls are cute. That is true. My line of vision rests on her lips again, wondering just how many people she's used them on. I freeze momentarily as I discover her eyes are also on me. We hold the gaze and it doesn't hit me until seconds later that she's caught me staring at her. My brain completely malfunctions, and due to the panic of being caught red-handed, I somehow slam my head onto the desk. The room goes silent after, and I raise my hand realizing what just happened. Or raise my head, sorry, I think I said hand. Everyone's staring in my direction. I probably look like a deer in the headlights. This couldn't get any more embarrassing. Oh, just wait, I'm sure it can. Mizutani-san. I straighten up and try my best to own it. I don my serious poker face and reply to the teacher. Yes? Were you sleeping and your head fell out of your hands? No. Then can I ask you to answer this question? She points at the jumbled mess of an equation on the chalkboard. There's no way I can even comprehend what the equation was asking for, even if I did pay attention in class. I gulp. I'm sorry. I cannot. The math teacher shakes her head at me in disappointment. I thought so. I genuinely have no rebuttal. Do I suck it up and take the false blame, or do I admit that I wasn't paying attention because I was too busy checking out a fellow classmate? I apologize. It won't ever happen again. You can stay after school and I can teach you all over again. Oh, that's the worst. What the heck? And I hate math too. I swallow another gulp. Oh boy. Yes, ma'am. Everyone's eyes slowly averts from me and return to the droning voice at the front of the classroom. I look towards the culprit that caused the entire farce. A little smirk flashes across Morishita-san's face, and I bite my lip in remorse and embarrassment. Did all that really just happen? Still feels surreal that I let my facade slip for even a second. I want someone to burn me alive right now this instant. I'll say, I hope she didn't say that out loud in the class. Do you understand the equation now, Miss Mizutani? The sunset glow makes the teacher's hair even more saturated than it already is, and frankly, gives her a less menacing look than she had earlier in the day. She explained the method and reiterated what she taught in class, but shortened it into a crash course. I'm sure she wants to leave school just as much as I do. With confidence, I nodded my head and replied, Yes, Miss Kaneko? That's an interesting name. I like that it has Neko in it. She lets out a brief breath of relief and closes a textbook she has in her hands. Hurriedly, she gathers her materials and begins to head out of the classroom. Stop falling asleep in class now, I tell you. I'm not doing this for the sake of staying even longer after school, but for your grades, you know? I know exams are over and all, but that doesn't mean you can slack off. Oh, if only I was actually sleeping. Please study some more. I also pack up and sling my bag over my shoulder, eager to go home, but the orange-haired math teacher requests one more thing. And please help me clear the chalkboard. Thank you. Yes. And with that, she leaves me alone in the sun-kissed room. I get up from my seat with my bag as soon as she leaves and starts erasing the leftover math equations on the board. I could be home right now, but instead I was here staying an extra hour after class, all because my thirsty butt was checking out Morishita-san. Her image flashes across my mind again, and I absent-mindedly do my duty. My face blushes immensely after remembering the thoughts that ran through my head in class. In retrospect, I really shouldn't have been checking her out in the first place. Who knew there was a 50-year-old perverted man living in an 18-year-old's body? Just what was I thinking? Maybe I need to hydrate myself, seeing how thirsty I was. Even I'm disgusted with myself. There's just one more white mark on the chalkboard to wipe before I'm free, but a familiar voice echoes to the classroom. Just what part of me were you staring at? Oh, I jolt a bit from the sudden voice belonging to none other than the reason I was in detention for. My eyes widen in disbelief as the most popular girl in school leans against the doorway with her attention on me. It was bad enough that I got caught staring, but this is a nightmare being confronted about it. I can't do anything but freeze in my spot and wait for Morishita-san to come over. She walks over to me, but instead of stopping 2 feet away, she stops 2 inches away from my lips. My heartbeat rings through my ears and pounds against my chest. Just what is she doing? I felt that gaze, you know. It was burning into me. Just what is she trying to get at? You're just like me, aren't you? It takes all my strength to muster my usual persona up to reply, but I can hear my voice wavering. She's way too close for comfort, especially for my gay heart. No, I don't quite understand what you mean. I flinch as her hand slowly snakes up my forearm. I take a step back in defense, but she just closes the gap even more, soon cornering me against the chalkboard. You're just like me. You're an alien. No, I'm just kidding. An alluring whisper makes its way into my ears, giving me goosebumps. A lesbian. That's a little bit different than an alien. A what? My head automatically turns to meet her eyes at the point our lips are practically a hairline away from each other. I swear all of a sudden I've forgotten how to breathe. A lesbian, just like me. It doesn't take a genius to connect the dots. The thoughts immediately form, and I don't think my eyes can go any wider than they already are. The most popular girl in school is a lesbian, just like me. You know, I can respect that you somehow worked the title of this in there. I can respect it for sure. The girl in front of me doesn't even give me a chance to process what to say before speaking up again. So, which part of me do you like best? My legs? My chest? Her hand snakes up my forearm some more, and her smile curves into a devilish smirk. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she's probably not going to stop until she elicits a reaction from me. The pride of me doesn't want to give her that satisfaction, though I'm too frozen right now to even give her what she wants. You just gotta go really strong back. Like, if she's flirting with you and she's like, you know, like touching you a little bit, you touch her back. You give her the flirting back. You know, people like this don't expect that. They don't expect you to go hard back. You know, you just gotta embrace it. I was gonna say be a man, but in this case, be a woman. You know, just go strong. Don't give in, because that's what she wants. Okay, she wants you to be like a little bit intimidated and a little bit thrown off. Don't do it. Don't give her that satisfaction. My lips? All I can focus on are her lips, which she's tempting me with, closing in on me. I shut my eyes close as I wait for an impact on my lips, but a loud thud from the window causes me to jump in shock. In the midst of my jump, I feel our lips brush lightly due to the close proximity we were previously in. Morishita-san backs up from me as well as from the abrupt interruption with a shocked face. However, I'm not too sure if she's shocked from the brief contact of our lips or from the ball hitting the window. That was convenient timing. I need to get out of here quick before she pulls something again. Please don't misunderstand, you're simply mistaken. I don't want anything to do with you or your sexuality. It is only natural to envy such an idol of the school. Now if you'll excuse me. There you go. I like it. She just played it off. She's like, yeah, I don't like you. I just think you're popular, you know, I respect that. That was the power play right there, asserting dominance. As best as I could, I whizzed past her with a probably faulty poker face. Dang, did you see how she got left stunned like that? Gosh. Hinata, I didn't know you were such a freaking Chad. I love it. My legs move as fast as I can to get out of the situation. I hope that they don't show that they're shaking. The adrenaline coursing through my blood makes me run home despite me hating physical activity. The inside of my mind is still blank and confused as heck. Just, what in the world happened? By the time I got home, I'm out of breath and dying. Well, that's not good. I mean, I would hope you're not dying. I rush inside and into my room. I plop down onto my bed as I try to catch my breath. Oh, you know, that gives me an idea, okay? They should make a visual novel about a ghost. I feel like that'd be cool. Like, I don't know, like some kind of like star-crossed lovers type thing. Like lovers that couldn't be. I don't know. They can make a visual novel about a ghost. That'd be cool. I rush inside and into my room. I plop down onto my bed as I try to catch my breath. The sun is set now, and the walls are soon dyed a dark blue. I bury my head into my pillow to try to gather my thoughts. Our lips brushed, didn't they? For some reason, I can still feel the light contact lingering on my lips. My fingers touch my lips, but the feeling is completely different from before. Even though it was very brief, it feels ethereal. If I'm feeling like this now, what would happen if she actually kissed me? The thought of that makes my cheeks burst into flames. Dang, they actually did get like really red. I roll onto my side and curl into a ball from the embarrassment. That would never happen. No way. Yeah, in a Studio Anpim game? Or Team Anpim game? No, it would never happen. You know, it just likes to explore the thought of a lesbian relationship, and then it leaves it at that. Like, nothing ever happens at the end. Never. Nothing. But if it did, it'd feel real good, right? If I had the chance, I would. My eyes squeeze shut to get rid of the impossible thoughts before I combust. Instead, I focus back on what Morishita-san was trying to pull. Why would she do that? Why would she share such a big secret, even if it was true? Why? Is she trying to play with me? Is this a huge joke to her? How am I going to face her tomorrow in class? Does she expect me to just pretend nothing happened? Ah! I scream and the inner gay in me panics wildly. This is all because I checked her out in class. You have no one to blame but yourself, Hinata. Blame your thirsty self. Oh my gosh. I mean, it is your fault. You did stare. I mean, you're not wrong. My feet drags across the wooden floors of the hallway, dreading each step towards my classroom. I barely got a wink of sleep last night because I kept thinking about what happened with Morishita-san. A sigh subconsciously escapes my mouth. I have to see her in class today. All I have to do is pretend not to notice her, right? The doors are just a few steps away and I already see Morishita-san sitting at her desk chatting with a group of guys. Just do what you did yesterday. You did an absolute Chad move. You just played it off. You were cool. You were like, I don't know what you're talking about. I enjoyed that so much. Like, just do that again. Even though you need to end up together in the end. But just act cool for now, okay? Trust me. As soon as I step into the classroom, her eyes look in my direction and our eyes meet once again. You've already failed. You literally did the one thing you weren't supposed to do. And you did it as soon as you entered into class. What are we supposed to do with her? I don't understand. I'm not sure if it's just my imagination, but the corners from her mouth curl into a smirk. With my poker face intact, I quickly turn away and head to my desk. I get ready for first period, and I find myself looking in Morishita-san's direction all the time. I don't know what to say for you. You just said you weren't going to do that, and then now you're doing it. So, you've already failed. You made it so obvious to her. Morishita-san's attention is back to the group of guys, but I can't help but question if she's really a lesbian. She constantly flirts with the guys that hang around her that are clearly interested in her. She's super touchy with them and is always being cute around them. That's saying something, right? So what was her deal yesterday? I know I shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I'm just wary about her. Is she someone I can trust, or is she just fooling around playing a huge prank on me? I bury my face in my hands and internally scream. It's possible that I'm extremely overthinking the whole situation. The bell rings, signaling the start of class, and students begin getting seated. I take one last glance at Morishita-san, and it looks as if she has no worry in the world. So why am I worrying about it? The teacher waltzes in and starts mumbling about today's class, in which I'm clearly not going to be able to pay attention to. Why do I feel like today's going to be a long day? It's going to be a long day because you can't get her out of your mind. The old sports equipment inside the storage creates a musty smell that I'm pretty much used to. Despite the rays of sunlight shining through the window, it's still dim and eerie. Oh my gosh, this reminds me of that scene in Clanad where he gets stuck with Kyo. I sit behind the vaults and lean against it. It's my favorite spot to hide when I need to get out of gym class. Just one request of, I need to use the washroom is all it takes for the PE teacher to forget about me, allowing me to relax in here. PE class is not my forte and I would do anything to stay away from it at all costs. I stay in here for as long as I can, but I try to be careful not to stay too long and raise suspicion. There's no clock in here, so sometimes I lose track of time, but I think I have a few more minutes before heading back out. Class should be over soon. I stare at the wall and find myself thinking back to yesterday again. The memory still hasn't been able to leave me alone and it's driving me crazy. All because of one brushing of lips. If I'm gonna go crazy over this, how would I even fare if we actually kissed? I bury my head in my knees and realize how much of a useless lesbian I am. The sound of footsteps catches my attention as I put my guard up. Hopefully they're just passing by. The footsteps pitter-patter closer towards the equipment room and the door creaks open. My breathing automatically stops and I close my eyes in fear of being found out. This is way too heavy. And hey, look who it is! Unexpectedly, I hear a voice that's all too familiar. Out of everyone else to come here, why does it have to be her? The hurdles go somewhere around here. Her footsteps begin creeping closer and I freeze, hoping she doesn't come my way. So you were here all this time. Too late, she spotted me. I look up at her looming figure and I gulp as I try to figure out an excuse. Morishita-san. Before I can even say my excuse, she's already figured it out. I didn't know you hated PE that much to be playing hooky like this. No wonder where you went. That takes me by surprise, leading me to just slip a questioning look at her. You noticed I was gone? Morishita bends down as she places the hurdles on the floor next to me. Who wouldn't? Aren't you the class's silent beauty? I shy away from the nickname. I nearly forgot about my facade with her here, breaking my everything. But since we're alone... Oh my gosh. Morishita-san crawls closer to me with a sly smirk and my heart starts beating faster. Where were we yesterday? Her face inches closer and closer, but I can't help but stay frozen in place. I have no idea what to do. I want to push her away and tell her to stay the heck away from me. But at the same time, this is the moment I've been waiting for. I don't know what to do. Right when I think her lips are going to touch mine, I shut my eyes quick and brace myself for impact. But our lips don't meet. You know you can stop me, right? My eyes open wide and I can feel my face heat up from embarrassment. Morishita-san's face is this close to me. I can see the details of her lashes and minimal makeup as well as the scent of her light perfume. It's almost making me dizzy. Yet, you're not stopping me. Because she doesn't want you to stop. You want this, don't you? Her evil smile taunts me, knowing she's backed me into a corner and that she has revealed my secret desires. But the pride in me doesn't want to be belittled. I don't want her to think she has the upper hand. I wipe the shocked face off and replace it with a stern expression. If she wants to have it her way, I'll give it to her. I do. And with that, I close the distance between us. Oh, you're just going for it. Okay. The kiss sends a wave of electricity through me, something I never knew I would experience. Her lips are just as I imagined them to be, plump and soft. The scent of floral-smelling perfumes gently surrounds me, intoxicating me. If this is a dream, please, no one wake me up. But alas, the dream must come to an end. The kiss doesn't last long, but it feels like eons. Dang, that's definitely the fastest I've ever seen them kiss in a Team Anpim game. Usually it's very much towards the end. We part and I see that her expression is now the face I had moments ago. I think I slipped a smirk in, seeing the roles being reversed. Gosh, I knew you were a Chad. You were holding back on me. You kept acting like you're all so shy and you're just, you know, not able to control your feelings, but then you make this power play move. I can respect it so much. Like, look at this smirk. She is so pleased with herself. I love it. She backs up and sits dumbfounded, her face shocked and madly blushing. My face is probably just as red as hers. I need to get out of here as soon as possible. I get up swiftly and walk towards the exit, but a hand latches onto my arm. I look over my shoulder to see Morishita-san with their head towards the ground. Did I anger her? Is something the matter, Morishita-san? Mizutani-san. The suspense is killing me. Also, gym class is almost about to be over, I'm sure. If she wants to say something, couldn't she wait till later? I gulp in anticipation, but what does she possibly want to say? Her head looks up at me with a serious expression, something I wasn't quite expecting. Mizutani-san, be my girlfriend. Did I hear that correctly? My shocked expression will never get a chance to rest when I'm with her, will it? Excuse me? I said, be my girlfriend. Sorry I did it right the first time, but what? Are you out of your mind? I just met you. Nothing's free in this world. She must want something from me. What, you don't want one? Apparently now she has changed the topic. That's beside the point. Then it's settled. From today on, you're my girlfriend. I probably have the most idiotic expression plastered on my face right now. But keep it a secret. I have an image to keep up. You and your images. Just let it happen. Like, why are you so worried about what somebody else thinks? And I say this every time a situation like this happens. Why do you care what somebody else thinks about you? Like, live your best life. If you want to be together, be together. Like, we live in a pretty open and accepting society compared to how it used to be, like, even 10 years ago. I think even 10 years ago it wasn't as good. And I think, especially if you go further than that, it's even worse. We live in a society where you can be who you are, okay? Just do it. I'm not opposed to that, but because society still... Okay, I didn't even read this before. Like, I hope you know I just went on this rant without reading this. That's because society still doesn't accept homosexuality, but why ask me out in the first place then if you're more worried about it? If you're more worried about is your image. I think society is perfectly accepting of it now. Obviously, there was always going to be people who aren't, but that's okay. I mean, you don't need to please everybody. You're making no sense right now. Relationships don't even work this way. Neither of us have feelings for each other. What's the difference between us being strangers and us being in a relationship with no feelings? Why are you complaining? You just got your hands on a hot girlfriend. Are you going to take it or leave it? Well, she's mad because you're not standing up for her. You're not willing to show her off. You're not willing to make your relationship public. Like, who wants that? Like, and I'm going to say this for you guys. Like, If you're ever in a relationship and the other person doesn't want to make it a public thing, don't be in that relationship, okay? Never do it. It's just, that's a red flag. Like, if they're not willing to publicly show their affection, like, you don't want to be with them. Not worth it. But, you know, this is a game, so I'm not saying, like, oh, it's a bad game because I disagree with, like, the premise of it, but it's fine. I'm just giving my opinion. For real life, don't be with someone who doesn't want to make your relationship public. So I have a choice now? You do now, yes. So do you want me or not? The sudden choice makes me think. Accepting this offer is literally most likely the dumbest decision I've ever made in my life. I don't know if she has any ulterior motives or any sort of hidden agenda. I barely trust her. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. How often do girls just randomly ask you out? Especially the girl that's the most sought out in school. If I don't accept this, how much longer will I have to wait to painstakingly find someone remotely gay? Do I want to be reasonable? Or do I want to be using her for my own selfish, thirsty motives? I mean, you like her, and obviously she likes you, too. So, you know, screw it. Exactly. Do it. I'll take it. Morishita-san's face changes back to her usual self. Good. She whizzes past me while I stand there fighting with my conscience. Don't stay in here for too long. They might file for a missing person, honey. I do a double take at the honey, but she leaves without another word too quickly for me to react. Now that she's gone, I remember more clearly what just happened a few minutes ago. The kiss I was wanting oh so badly had actually happened, and I don't know how to feel about it. Her soft lips made me feel ecstatic. I've never kissed a guy before, let alone a girl, but if kissing girls is this nice, I'd do it whenever I could. But then the deal I struck with her comes to mind, and I can't tell if it sours the mood or makes me happy. On one hand, I got myself a girlfriend. Excuse me. But on the other hand, I barely know her. Just, what have I gotten myself into? The end of the school day has arrived yet again, and my so-called girlfriend is still nothing but a stranger to me. I thought having a girlfriend would change my life, but for the past 2 days, nothing has changed. At all. We're both going on with our lives, like our interaction in the equipment room never happened. But she's still being her usual self in class, and I'm still here as well. Nothing new. I've given her the past 2 days to see what she wants, but it seems like she doesn't want anything. What was the whole point then? After that day, I just kept thinking at the back of my head that this was all a joke, a prank. And if it's being proven, honestly. This whole thing is ridiculous. I look at her desk and see the usual guys with her. She's laughing at a joke that was said, mesmerizing the others with her infectious giggle. The group begins to get up and leave, probably to hang out at the bustling city center nearby. I ball my hands into fists, as if she's just toying with my feelings. I want to know right now. I'd like to catch her in the act if she's going out to fool around with some boys despite labeling me as a girlfriend. Shouldn't your girlfriend consider your feelings? A relationship is a two-way street, not one. I quickly packed my bags and followed the posse out of the school grounds. I somehow successfully followed them onto the train headed towards Shibuya. It's hard to keep up in such a busy location. There are times when I lose sight of them briefly, but manage to find them again. A sea of people constantly block my view and stagger my steps in following them, but I guess that's a good thing, so I'm not following them too closely. Unfortunately, or fortunately, there hasn't been any signs of her so-called cheating on me. It's just her window shopping with a couple of guys. She will sometimes act all touchy, but that might just be her personality. They stop at a nearby store and start to chit-chat. I stop as well, and have slowly given up on following her. I shake my head and smack my forehead. Maybe that will smack some sense into me. What am I even doing? This is astonishingly out of character for me. I'm a literal stalker right now. My head begins to throb, and I feel a migraine coming. All this just because of my new girlfriend. Simply amazing. As I return to look, someone bumps into me and drops their groceries. Oh dearie, I'm sorry. Oh no, it's alright. Here, let me help you. I pick up a few oranges that rolled off and place them back into the bag. What a wonderful young lady. Thank you very much. The old grandma walks off carrying her grocery bags, and I go back to scouting Morishita-san. Except she's not where I last saw her. I look around to see if the group just moved, but alas, nowhere. I sigh and roll my eyes. Losing track of Morishita-san is probably a sign telling me to stop with this farce. I'm just being stupid. Let her do what she wants. I don't care anymore. I don't think I cared much in the first place. This whole girlfriend thing is making me go haywire. I shake my head again and decide to go home. When I turn around, though, I bump into yet another person. Sorry. It seems my target has come to me instead. Morishita-san? First you checked me out, and now you're stalking me? Scary. My face turns beet red, but I hold a straight face. It's none of your business. But you're my girlfriend, though. You sure don't treat me like it. Tired of the game she's playing, I walk past her with a pissed expression. Wait a second. She holds me down by looping her arms with mine, which catches me by surprise. I look at her, now with puppy eyes pleading at me to stay. But no matter how cute or convincing those puppy eyes are, I'm not staying. My feet continue to walk, but Morishita-san holds onto my arm tightly and walks alongside me. Are you mad? I bring out my sarcastic tone, a tone I don't use quite often. No, why would I be mad? You're the one that proposed to be girlfriends, yet there are no signs of you remotely wanting to play the part. What reason is there to be mad? Morishita-san goes quiet for a moment, probably picking up on my sarcasm. Let's talk. I stop in my tracks and am surprised again, this time at her serious tone. My eyes open wide in shock and give her a questioning look. But I'm hungry, so let's talk over food. She then drags me to the nearest family restaurant down the block. Time after time, I somehow fall into her pace and follow her like a loyal puppy. The popular family restaurant chain is bustling with customers, but we manage to be seated at a booth. A waitress comes up to us and takes our orders. Morishita-san quickly orders without even looking at the menu, which I struggle to decide what I want with the small amount of time I'm given. I'll take the house special Salisbury steak, please. I'll take the chicken pasta. Coming right up. The waitress leaves us to ourselves and my attention reverts back to my so-called girlfriend. She checks her phone for notifications and scrolls through some sort of feed. A silence falls over us and I decide to break the ice. So why did you ditch your friends? She looks up from her phone and replies, Oh, I just got bored and hungry, so I left. Sure, just those things without a care, huh? When did you find out I was following you? You mean stalking? A giggle erupts from her mouth as she puts her phone down. I'm happy that she's finally paying attention to the situation at hand. I give her an unamused frown, but I don't really have the right to give her one, seeing that was technically stalking her. I didn't mean to. Another laugh comes from her mouth as she crosses her arms on the table. No, I'm glad you followed me. What? I said I'm glad you followed me. I would have been bored to death after leaving them. I heard you the first time, but I'm surprised you just ditched them like that. Well, it's not like I left without saying anything. I just told them I'm tired and wanted to go home. It's not like I wanted to hang or anything. So you just went because they asked you to? Morishita-san looked away with a look that says I hit the nail right on the head. Yeah. Is that what it's like to be popular? Not being able to turn down invites? I chuckle thinking about how she's able to drag people into her own pace, but still manages to be dragged by others. Do you always agree to hang out? Can't you just outright say you don't want to? I just don't want to look bad, you know? I don't know. I think like the coolest people are the ones who just kind of do their own thing and like are pleasant to be around. Like, I'm not saying you have to be like the nicest person or that you have to be like really mean. I just feel like the people who kind of like live their own life are the most interesting ones. Maybe it's just me and my different outlook on life, but I don't have people around me all the time, hence no one expects much of me. Her eyes then look into mine, and for a quick second, the atmosphere around her became something completely different. Don't you have expectations thrown onto you too, Silent Beauty? And in reality, you're probably nothing like that, am I right? I can see it. You're probably a repressed lesbian underneath that exterior. I open my mouth to refute, but the realization hits that she was right. Did she read my mind? I also have expectations to withhold. With me deemed the Silent Beauty, I have to put on this fake image of myself as a means of driving people away. Again, it's for the sake of my social standing. Though it's not too hard, not a lot of people talk to me, so saying one or two words in my fake persona isn't taxing on me. The only main difference between me and my Silent Beauty persona is that one is a repressed gay that often gay panics and the other one isn't. Compared to Morishita-san, where she's constantly expected to keep up her cheerful and popular image. Wait, don't tell me I got that right. That was honestly just a wild guess. My fingers interlace with each other, and I look down in silence, knowing that I have nothing to argue with. If I say that she's right, I'd be spilling a secret to someone I don't even know that well. A vague answer it is then. You can think whatever you want. You're no fun. Say, why'd you follow me anyways? My head slowly rises, and I dread my embarrassing answer to her. I just wanted to see what you were doing with those guys. You made me your girlfriend, but nothing has happened between us. It's like, this whole thing is just a joke on me, and I myself still don't understand what your motive is. I don't even have any contact information of yours. Frankly, I don't trust you. For some reason, her eyes widen as if I said something blasphemous. Did I say something wrong, though? I really don't mean to doubt you, nor do I want to doubt you, but are you really a lesbian? If you really are, should you really be trusting me with that info? You also don't know anything about me. What if I slip that to the class and spread rumors? Her brow now furrows, and she stares at me with an angered expression I never knew she could show. Are you saying I can't trust you, then? I don't quite know what she means by that. Well, you can, because I'm not one to spread rumors. Besides, her sexual orientation is none of my business. But why me? What if it was actually someone malicious? You shouldn't go telling people those things, especially if society is still so against it. You're gay too, aren't you? Was I wrong this entire time? Morishita-san doesn't answer my concerns, but turns the attention to me instead. I struggle to admit it, only because I've never come out to anyone before, but I muster up all my courage and say it proud. I am. I am a lesbian as well. The looks on her soften as she looks more relaxed. She fidgets with the thin gold band on her right index finger, and her voice becomes less stern than it was just a minute ago. Then that's fine, isn't it? You understand me. This is the first time I met someone that's the same as me. A comrade. I saw the chance and took it to be with the gender that I like. I've never met anyone that thinks as naively as her. But you don't even have feelings for me. We're still essentially strangers, you know that, right? You barely know me, and that's enough to raise a red flag. Things are going to go downhill fast. You know, Hinata is making a lot of sense. I mean, obviously, they really don't know each other that well. So it was kind of weird that they wanted to be in a relationship just because they're both lesbians. I mean, I'm sure there's more lesbians in the school. It's like, you really should get to know the person first before you ask them out. Like, I always thought it's weird, like, when people, like, just meet somebody for the first time on the street and they ask them out right then and there, like, to be in a relationship. I think that's weird. I think you can ask someone to go on a date right away, but I think, like, to ask someone to be in a relationship after, like, so quickly, I think that's weird. Well, I can get to know you. Due to the liveliness of the restaurant, her mumble was barely audible, and I feel like I missed something important. Sorry, what did you say? Nothing. Anyways, back to my point. I don't think it's a smart idea to date for the sake of dating. So you don't want to be my girlfriend? She looks up at me with pitiful eyes again, but this time it looks genuine. They make me want to give her what she wants despite me feeling the opposite way. My heart is telling me no. No, I shouldn't get into a relationship with her simply for the sake of dating, just because she's conveniently here and ready and conveniently gay. Everything would just be fake if no feelings are involved. It would just be like a school play, a movie with two actors. But the selfish devil on my shoulder says this is a great opportunity to maybe try things out. I gotta say, Hinata's like a really well-written character in this regard. I actually really like what she's saying right now. I think this is like absolutely true. She's pretty much saying like, hey, I don't want to get into a relationship just because we're both gay. Like, that makes zero sense. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make sense, right? But she's saying like, this is my first opportunity. Like, I haven't really met anybody else, you know, that I'm like kind of remotely interested in that's also gay. So it's like, I don't want to waste this opportunity by saying no, because we could work on this. We could build something from here. But it's like, maybe you should get to know each other more and then like start calling it a relationship, is what my advice would be. We're just two teens taking chances, experimenting and making mistakes while we can. I'd rather mess up now than later. And that's kind of the other point I've been missing too. It's like, they're both really young, and this is the time where you don't really know like much about a relationship. You probably never really had one or had very few. So it's like, you're kind of learning what it means to be in a relationship. And then I know I kind of downplay it sometimes, and maybe I shouldn't be doing that, but like, I do think society overall is very accepting of people being gay, but I do understand that there's a lot of people that would not be approving of that, and that can be really hard. I mean, I'm not gay, so I can't really relate to that, but I have seen that, and I've had friends that have told me about that. It is really hard, especially if you have those feelings, to really come out with that. So I guess I can understand what they're going through, especially being like a teenager. I feel like excuse me. I feel like when you're a teenager, everything like that is so much harder to do because your social standing is like everything. Like, you want to be accepted, you're trying to figure out who you are, and you want people to like you. So I guess that's what I have to say on that. I should probably stop ranting. And it doesn't seem like Morishita-san is bothered by it either. She seems quite eager to get in a relationship, even though I told her multiple times about how I'm a mere stranger. If she's using me for her own gain, that means I could use her for my own gain, right? The reasoning in my brain gets muffled by my greedy feelings. I can just agree now and break it off later if things are really not going well. It's as simple as that. I just have to make it clear with her. Morishita-san awaits the answer in anticipation, while staring intently through me. Fine. I'll be your girlfriend on one condition. Her head tilts and her left eyebrow raises in confusion. She probably didn't expect terms and conditions to apply. The one condition being, if things don't work out and we break up, neither of us can hate or blackmail each other. Well, that's kind of an interesting condition. You have no way of upholding that, but sure, why not? My so-called girlfriend burst into laughter, resulting in some heads turning to our table. Why would that ever happen? I'm just being careful. You're hilarious. But you have yourself a deal. Should I come up with a contract for both of us to sign or something? Oh, so she's back to her cheeky self again. She giggles in lieu of her little joke of exaggeration that I don't find amusing. Uh-oh. Forgot I had the baby monitor in the room. My wife putting our daughter to sleep. She giggles in lieu of her little joke of exaggeration that I didn't find quite amusing. Then she picks up her phone again and holds it in front of me. You mentioned earlier that we don't have each other's contact info. Let's change that right now. Do you have Ryan? We proceed to exchange our Ryans, and just then our waitress returns with our meals. Here you go. Enjoy your meal. Without another bat of an eye, she quickly leaves to attend to more important things. The lovely aroma of the food causes my stomach to grumble, and I can feel my mouth salivating. But all of it comes to a stop when I see a bunch of cherry tomatoes on the side. I don't recall seeing tomatoes in the picture. I pick up my fork and push the tomatoes away in disgust even further from the pasta and begin digging in. You know, Hinata, that was the best thing I've seen you do, because tomatoes are gross. I like things that tomatoes like products that tomatoes make, but I don't like just straight up tomatoes. So, you know, I respect that. Itadakimasu. For an average family restaurant, the food tastes really good somehow. The pasta is cooked to perfection, not too hard yet not too soft. The sauce has the right amount of saltiness, and everything is just a huge symphony in my mouth. I go for another bite, but Morishita-san points her chin at my discarded tomatoes. You don't like tomatoes? No. I'm not a particularly picky eater, but tomatoes are on the top of my blacklist. The slimy texture is unpleasant. Then give them to me. There you go. Perfect. Someone that will eat my unwanted tomatoes. I'm in love. That's true love right there. If you can find a significant other that is willing to eat the food you don't like, perfect. It's a great relationship already. I jab one of my round red devils and pass it onto her plate, but she apparently wants it somewhere else. Oh, I see your game. I see your game. She opens her mouth expecting me to feed her. I feel my face starting to get warm. I never knew feeding someone could feel this embarrassing. Yes, Hinata, yes. I'm so proud of you right now. Don't give in. Just tell her no. You can't give in everything right away, okay? You have to have a little bit of a game, okay? You don't just give in to their demands. Her signature smirk taunts me, knowing full well that I'm fazed by this whole ordeal. I reply to her smirk with a disappointed look. Do I really have to? Weren't you the one that was complaining that I wasn't treating you like a proper girlfriend? This is the start. I'm sure this is easier than holding hands. Holding hands? My imagination runs wild as it conjures the day I first hold hands with her. Yes, this is child's play compared to holding hands. I sigh and forfeit and suck it up. Morishita-san opens her mouth again in anticipation, but my hands shakingly feed her the tomato. She engulfs my fork with a smile on her face. I hate that she knows that I know she won. Again. For the rest of the tomatoes, I just quickly drop them on her plate so I don't need to feed her again. You know that was an indirect kiss, right? Oh my gosh, it's not like it's the first time you guys have done that. The thought didn't cross me until she mentions it with her cocky smile still present. I can feel my face getting warmer than before from the embarrassment. Except I shouldn't really be embarrassed because it's pretty common for a couple to do stuff like this. I keep my composure and fight back. What's an indirect kiss to me when we've already had a direct kiss? That's true. Her eyes open wide in shock of the retort, but her smile grows wider as she acknowledges the playful banter. She chuckles in defeat and lets the issue go. It was interesting to see her be at a loss for words. I can't help but hold back a smile after what seemed to be the most genuine and fun interaction I've had with her so far. maybe. This isn't so bad. The rest of the time we end up eating while talking about random stuff. It was all thanks to Morishita-san for trying to make small talk. I really appreciated her efforts because if it wasn't for her, the entire time would have just been silence. I wouldn't have known what to talk about, so her being a people person really helped out a lot. Yeah, that's nice when you don't like to talk a lot and you find someone who does. Cause see, I don't like to talk a lot. I mean, I can depending on the person, but I'm not like a super socialite. The winter sun is now setting and casts an orange hue to the city landscape. Together, we walk towards the train station, but it turns out we need to split ways as we're going to different directions. This is the part where you kiss me goodbye. Even to the end, she keeps playing around with me. No way am I going to kiss her in front of hundreds of people here. You gotta be joking. Of course not. She says that, but the smile on her face says she just wants to make me embarrassed again. I look around and see the sea of people buzzing by. I wouldn't mind doing it if there weren't so many people, but knowing that there could be someone watching us makes me tremendously nervous. But maybe some other time, somewhere else. Wow, what a great girlfriend. You're a great girlfriend too, coercing your girlfriend to do something she doesn't want to do. Morishita-san pouts in an unamused manner for not being able to get what she wanted. That's enough for today. Get home safely, Morishita-san. It's getting late, so please just go straight home. Don't stop by before I can even finish. She pecks her lips on mine unexpectedly and interrupts me. She backs up and I put my hand on my lips and look around in haste to see if anyone saw. Morishita-san! She laughs her cute little laugh and sticks her tongue out, holding a peace sign to signal her victory. I feel like whenever you do PDA in public, like there's always gonna be someone watching or like looking because they're like, okay, what are y'all doing? Just like kind of like that's a little bit sus, but it doesn't matter if like you're gay or not. I feel like people will just look either way, so it's like it's not a huge deal. Don't make it a big deal. I feel like you make it what it is, you know? So if you're gonna make a big deal out of it, it's gonna be a big deal. I always get what I want, you know? With that, she turns around and joyfully skips to our designated platform, but she faces me again and shouts one last message. Stop calling me Morishita-san! After that, she leaves for good, disappearing up the stairs to her train. I look around one last time, and then quickly find my train. I've lost again. That just reminds me of Kaguya-sama. And just like at the end of each episode, it just says who won. So I guess Hana won. By the next week, the mood between us has definitely changed. Morishita-san keeps subtly sending glances at me during class, and she keeps sending me messages on Rhine. I usually stop replying after a few messages because I know the stats of my stealth aren't high. I don't want to get caught in class and make a fool of myself again. For the rest of the school day, I try my best to pay attention in class, but she keeps distracting me in one way or another. When the bell rings, I sigh a breath of relief and check my phone to see the messages I missed. After my last messages, she starts whining and sending weird memes, but she gave up after 5 minutes, it seems. I look over to her direction and see the usual sight, a crowd of guys and girls around her. I've learned from last week that I really shouldn't get too jealous over her with her group of friends. Besides, she currently seems to be having a good time. I start packing my bags to leave for home until I look over once more and find her looking at me in a distressed way. Her eyes flicker between me and her friends, but it's clear that she's trying to tell me something. I check my phone to see if she sent any messages. Nothing. The next time she looks at me, I tilt my head and send her a confused look. I think they're probably like trying to ask her to go somewhere and she wants to say no. That's what I'm guessing she's trying to tell us. Now her eyeballs move left and right, but she goes back to smiling at the group. I get up from my seat and head towards her. Her nervous glances might be saying she wants to get out of here, though I might be overthinking and create a huge scene again. Excuse me for intruding. I part the classmates like the Red Sea and they look at the sudden stranger coming up to them. Morishita-san, please don't forget we were asked by Miss Kaneko to help move some of her things in the staff room. I expect you to be there. Her friends turn to her for confirmation of the sudden request. The look on her face brightens and almost literally glows. It seems my hunch was correct. Yes, I almost forgot. Thank you so much for reminding me, Mizutani-san. For real? Yeah, haha, sorry guys. You should probably go on without me. I don't know how long it'll take. Lame. We begin to file out of the classroom, leaving us alone to supposedly go help our math teacher. Morishita-san slumps in her chair and looks at me with a tired-looking smile. Thanks. To be honest, I had no idea what you were trying to tell me at first. I just kind of assumed you wanted out of there. If I were to take from last week's experience. Well then, I'm glad you guessed it right. Don't tell me you're only dating me to help you get out of situations you don't want to be in. She grabs her bag and slings it over her shoulders, sticking her tongue out in a cute manner. Oops, I guess I've been found out. Come on, let's go help out Miss Kaneko. Right. We walk down the stairs onto the main floor where the entrance of the school is located. I plan on just going straight home, but Morishita-san suggests something elsewise. How about I treat you to something for helping me out? No, I'm fine, thank you. Oh, come on, let me do something for you. I think I'd rather just go home. And besides, weren't you the one that wanted to hang out with your friend, that didn't want to hang out with your friends in the first place? Go home and rest, Morishita-san. But I want to spend time with my beloved. Again, she links arms with mine and smiles a Cheshire cat-like smile. If she's offering, I guess I can't turn her down. Then, but don't think about anything dirty. I don't give up my body just like that. Okay, I don't think anyone was asking, but it takes my brain a second to register what she meant, and when it did, I blushed and replied in fluster. I wasn't thinking of that. I would have never thought about it had you mentioned it. Oh, so you're thinking about it now. I ignore her and start racking my brain to think of something she can repay me with before she teases me even more. There was that place that everyone was talking about lately on Twitter. It sounds like Twitter with like an accent. We're going on Twitter. Oh, but how about the new crepe place in Yoyogi Park? It has been the craze as of late. Her smile lights up into something less sinister. Oh yeah, that place. I've been there. You have? It's quite expected, I guess. She's probably hung out at every popular site. So, you'd recommend it? Yeah, I'd say so. Wanna go? It's your treat, no takebacks. Morishita-san kept holding onto my arm the entire trip here. I didn't quite mind it, but I wasn't used to such constant skinship. It might be something I have to get used to now that I have her in my life. You don't have to be so tense, you know? What? She giggles at my confusion. You seem really stiff with me holding on to you. You sure you don't mind? I'm fine. It does take a little getting used to, that's all. Whatever you say. The crepe cart is just within eyesight, and the line is filled with young teenagers waiting to get a taste of the Instagram-worthy snack. We join the line and try to decide which flavors to get. Since you've been here before, what do you suggest? What do you like? More tart flavors or more hearty, heavier flavors? Maybe something with chocolate? I'm really not that picky. Not picky, huh? Says the one who wouldn't eat her tomatoes the other day. Hey, it's just tomatoes I don't like. Anything else I'm okay with. If you say so. I give her a pout in response to her teasing and switch back to the original topic. Which one did you get last time you came here? I got the caramel swirl. It was really good. Caramel swirl, huh? I crane my neck to take a better look at the menu. There's not a huge selection, but every one of them sounds equally delicious. This is the only time I'm grateful for a long line, aside from what my mom tells me, to stay in line at the cashier while she grabs something. I look at Morishita-san and continue interrogating her about flavors again. I assume you're getting something different this time? Yeah, probably. She herself is also trying to take a peek at the menu board ahead of us. Our position slowly moves forward to the cart and the time is near to choose a flavor. Morishita-san, since I can't make up my mind, I can just choose the most expensive one, right? You're treating after all. She shoots me a judgmental glare and exaggeratedly rolls her eyes. Anything for my girlfriend. That might have been kind of sarcastic, but my heart couldn't help but skip a beat for hearing her address me as girlfriend. I nonchalantly turn my head to the other direction to not let her see me blushing, knowing she's bound to tease me about it. We finally reach the front in order. Morishita-san picks a blueberry one, whereas I pick the most expensive one, but the second most expensive, whereas I pick not the most expensive one, but the second most expensive one, just to spare her wallet. An Oreo triple fudge. Sounds really heavy and I might have regretted my decision, but it sounded way too good to pass up on. Like she promised, she pays for both of us and we find a nearby bench to enjoy our crepes. I don't think I've ever had a crepe. I've wanted to, and like I know of them from like anime and things like that, but I've never had one. You guys like crepes? I wonder if they're any good. Oh wow, this tastes amazing. The chocolate coats my tongue and the Oreo pieces just melt in my mouth. I don't feel guilty for ordering one of the more expensive ones anymore just because it tastes so good. Too busy indulging in my crepe to notice Morishita-san went quiet for a while until she speaks up. Hold your arms out a little. Excuse me? Hold your arms out a little. Why, may I ask? Just do it. What is she up to this time? I do as she instructs and hold my arms out forward, completely unaware what she has in mind. Itadakimasu. In the blink of an eye, she charges for my crepe and takes a big bite out of it. Hey! You're right, this is delicious. They're a little bit too sweet for my liking. Oi! She ignores me and quickly goes back to eating her own crepe, pretending like she didn't just commit a dire crime. What? You made it sound so good, I just had to give it a try. I open my mouth to scold her, but I notice a dollop of cream on her cheek and can't help but burst into laughter. She pauses her meal and faces me with a baffled expression, not expecting me to be laughing. You have some cream on your cheek. Her hand wipes at her face and attempts to get it off, but she doesn't seem to be successful. Seeing how helpless she is, I pull out my handkerchief from my skirt pocket and lean over to wipe it off of her. You're really like a kid sometimes, you know that? You always seem to have your own agenda, not caring about what others want, and of course, eating me so messily. I snicker one last time and nod mentally in approval of my comparison. A shade of pink washes over her face and she frowns at my comment. Oh, shut up. You're the one that has to deal with me, so it's not my problem now, is it? I can tell she tried to talk back and sound snarky, but all that shows is her being embarrassed. Another laugh slips from my mouth, amused to see the flustered role being reversed. Anything for my girlfriend. Morishita-san is staring at the ground with furrowed brows, and I can see the tint of her pink on her cheeks soon becomes a saturated red. Huh, so it's not just me that thinks hearing the label girlfriend makes it sound more real, eh? For the remaining amount of time taken to eat our crepes, neither of us talk as the background noises of the park break the awkward silence. I finished mine faster than her, and I decided to start a conversation, mainly about going home. Morishita-san, which train are... Told you to stop calling me Morishita-san, didn't I? Interruption startles me, and I think back to when she told me that. I've completely forgotten as I've grown accustomed to calling her formally. Just call me Hana. It still feels a little bit awkward and foreign to me being on a first name basis with her. After all, it's been less than a week since I've gotten to know her. Hana-san. Seriously, you have to stick the honorific on? Just give me the time to adjust. Alrighty then, I'll be getting ahead without the honorifics. Hinata. Her signature sneer replaces her previously adorable, embarrassed look. I would think it would sound weird hearing my name being called by her, but somehow, it doesn't sound too bad. After our snack, I suggest to head home as it's getting late. I still have homework to do, but I'm sure she does as well. Party pooper. It's still early. I pull up my phone and look at the time, 4:58 p.m. I kind of want to start on homework early. She looks at me with a judgmental expression. For real? Nerd. Hey, at least I'm getting stuff done. Don't tell me you don't do your homework till the last minute. Her eyes shift away and I know I totally hit the nail on the head. I might. I shake my head in disapproval at her bad student habits, and in return she sticks her tongue out in a deadpan manner. Fine, let's go home. Suddenly I feel bad for kind of ruining the mood, but what's done is done. Maybe I can work on that a bit. We move out of the park and onto the path towards the train station. As we make our way to the station, our hands brush each other slightly, and it brings me back to the thought I had in the restaurant. I get a sudden courage to try the whole hand-holding thing, so I reach forward and our fingers touch again. However, I chicken out and pull back. This whole dating thing is still new to me, and it kind of frustrates me because I have no idea what to do. I don't want to mess up, but I know I will because I'm so clueless. Her hands are relaxed and open, and it should be super easy, but this is harder than any math test. My palms get clammy from the unnecessary stress, and I retract my hand to the side and curse at myself for even trying. Jeez, just hold it, it's not that hard. At that moment, fingers snake onto my palm and interlace with mine. You know, it's hard in your first relationship. You gotta see where the boundaries are and get a feel for things, you know, especially if you don't know the person that well. Like, they don't really know each other too well. But, you know, just go for it. And, you know, if that's the kind of relationship you have, you know, just hold hands. My eyes widen at her sudden action. Aside from the warmth and closing my hand, I can feel the rush of hotness flood my face. It might be me not being accustomed to hand holding, but it feels kind of weird. Not necessarily in a bad way, but it's nice. I avoid looking in her direction because if we made eye contact, I swear my face would explode from high temperatures. See, not so hard, is it? My gaze shies towards the ground and I quickly shake my head. No, it is that hard. Morishita-san chuckles at my inexperience. I guess you need more practice. But I don't exactly hold hands with people often. Great, then I can teach you. Do you do this with everyone? Kind of. It's quite normal among girls, isn't it? Holding hands and linking arms? Skinship. Yeah, but what? We're not holding hands because we're friends. We're more than just friends, apparently. Yeah, we're dating, so you're gonna have to get used to it. She swings our arms joyfully and beams a bright smile at me. It's definitely something I have to get used to. This whole dating thing still hasn't wrapped around my head yet. My brain constantly asks myself if this is all just a dream. This is such a weird way to get a girlfriend. Can I even consider her a real girlfriend? We're doing this to satisfy each other's selfish desires. There's no real love in this. Could there be real love in the end? My heart sinks a bit thinking about the situation deeply. Will we just go our separate ways once we figure out this thing isn't gonna work? Just then, while I was deep in my thoughts, I get tugged from Morishita-san's sudden stop. I look towards her to see what's wrong and find her squealing at something. Oh my gosh, look! Outside of her old rundown candy store sits an equally beat up capsule toy machine. Take a closer look at the toy she's marveling at and see some hedgehog straps on display. Her grip releases from her hold as she digs for her wallet in her bag. She pulls out 2 100 yen coins and inserts it into a slot, spinning the dial to roll a colored ball out. Like a child on Christmas, she hastily opens up the capsule and reveals a pink Sakura-themed hedgehog. Ah, it's so cute! Oh, she got Amy. That's probably like the worst one you could get. She proceeds to hang it on the strap of her school bag, which sports a bunch of other cute charms. Seeing how excited she is at the capsule, I'm tempted to get one myself. Ah, sorry, let's go. I got sidetracked. Wait. I pick out 2 100 yen coins from my coin pouch and mimic what she did. Out comes a blue capsule and I find a hedgehog wearing sunglasses. Wow, cute! Exactly as she did, I tie it around my school bag strap and hold it for her to see. Now we're matching. So she got Sonic and she got Amy, huh? She lets out another one of her infectious giggles and holds her hedgehog charm up. As a couple should, huh? I let out a smile subconsciously in agreement. We then resume our path towards the station, with her initiating the hand-holding again. This time, though, it feels a little less awkward, but just as embarrassing. The tumble of the train lulls my eyelids fluttering shut, and they become alert when Morishita-san gets up. I didn't realize it, but her stop is near approaching. The caramel orbs of hers look at me gently as she flashes a smile that's unlike all the other ones I've seen before. Had a lot of fun today, Hinata. We should go on another date again sometime. The riders of the train slowly get up and head towards the doors as they prepare to depart. I let out an embarrassed chuckle, hearing her say my name again. Just say the word and I'll most likely tag along, that is, if you're not already dragging me with you. Her smile beams brighter in response to my offer. It's a promise then. Soon the cart slows to a stop and the doors open. This is where a goodbye kiss usually comes in the scene, isn't it? I ball my fist knowing I won't have the courage to initiate a kiss, let alone in a place full of people. She waves and turns around to exit through the train. Her pink cotton candy-like hair flutters away as the doors close and her figure disappears. I plop my bag on my bed and collapse beside it. My eyes close from exhaustion. It's not often that I go out after school, so my body's not accustomed to the fatigue lately. I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely fun, and I would do it again if the chance arises. Knowing her, though, these outings will probably be very sporadic, just like herself. I pull out my phone to send her a message and check up on her. Did you get home safely? Yes, Mom, I got home safely. Just checking. You're free to check my bra size as well while you're at it. I'm leaving. I was just joking, don't leave. I'm actually leaving, I just want to take a nap. All I wanted to do was make sure you're safe. Bye. Aw, what a tsundere. I put my phone down and turn off the screen, just ignoring her. It seems like I don't need to worry about her much. In fact, she might end up being the one worrying about me instead. My eyes begin to close and the new addition to my school bag stops them. I pull my bag closer and fiddle with the cute little hedgehog charm. The hedgehog is wearing shades and shows a cool expression, as if it's the coolest hedgehog around town. I examine the hedgehog and find myself smiling as I remember what happened today. Never had I thought I'll be tolerating her, especially with our ridiculous way of meeting, but here I am, actually enjoying her company. Perhaps it's me unraveling the sides of her that everyone doesn't get to see. Or maybe it's her charisma working their charms. Whatever the reason, I know I'm gradually gravitating towards her. Maybe, just maybe, there's a chance that all this can become real. It's as real as you want to make it be. With the bell signifying the end of the school day, students get up and head home or to club activities. I look out the window and sigh at the glum view. It's now mid-February and the news said that the snow is going to fall soon. I hate all these types of precipitation. The gloomy sky has drained all my energy and I can't wait to get home to get a nap. I follow suit and pack my bags of textbooks and homework. Morishita-san is probably going out with some friends again. It's been 2 weeks now since the day we went to get crepes. After that, we mainly just communicate through Rhine, which I'm perfectly fine with, seeing how hard it is to approach her when her friends are around. She still gives me glances during lectures from time to time, and every time we make eye contact, I end up breaking it out of shyness. I swear she gets off to making me feel embarrassed. Usually I'd expect the usual chattering from Morishita-san's group, but I overhear our conversation. Sorry, I have something to do after school today. Her turning down her friend surprised me a bit. I don't know how often she did it before I met her, but this is a first for me. Eh? Really? Lame. Don't tell me you found a boyfriend. Legit? Oh my gosh, show us pics. No way, it's not a boyfriend. She's totally lying. But yeah, I can't today. Sorry. Well, that's good. She's actually saying no for once. I mean, she doesn't usually do that too often. Her friend's chattering dissipates as they march out of the classroom. Could she really have something to do today? I sit back down and grab my phone and message her. Where are you going today? Your house. What? If you're free. I am, but my house? There's nothing to do at my house. But it'd be interesting. I've never been there before. I don't think it's necessary. I'll be visiting sooner or later. It might as well be now. Before I even hit the send button, Morishita-san grabs her bag and leaves the room. I might have fallen into her trap, but I hurriedly catch up to her for clarification. Hey. I end up walking next to her, with her leading me to wherever she's going. Yes? You're not serious about going to my house, right? I am. She can be so difficult sometimes. No, all the time. There's nothing at my house. That's fine. But why can't I go to your house? Are you hiding something? No, it's just what? Again, she displays her trademark smirk. I sigh and admit defeat, unless I can create a ridiculous excuse. Besides, it's a nice change for me. I go out all the time anyways. I like to chill at home, you know? Then go home. You're so mean. I just want to spend some quality time with my girlfriend. Can't I just have that? She gives me puppy eyes and a pout, and I decided to let her have her way. It's not like I have anything to hide anyways. Could it be that you're worried that I'm gonna do something to you? Just imagine us together in a room. I'm not thinking about anything of that sort, thank you very much. Lame. So this is your house, huh? The lock on the door clicks as I turn the key and invite her inside. I'm home. I expected a welcome back, but it seems no one's home at the moment. Mom might be out grocery shopping. Us alone in my room, huh? But Morishita-san didn't bring it up as I thought she would. I bring her up to my room and sit her down on the bed. She climbs onto my bed and leans against the wall. I'm not surprised. She's so casual despite it being her first time here. I opened the blinds to bring some light in, but I noticed thunderclouds. It seems that it started to rain. Luckily, we made it here before it happened. The sound of pelting raindrops fills the room's silence. I turn around and see her pull something out of her school bag. Here, chocolates for you. Chocolates? Did you seriously forget? My brain tries its hardest to remember what exactly it is I'm forgetting, but no luck. What did I forget? She rolls her eyes and tosses the chocolates to me, which I nearly drop. It's Valentine's Day today. Now that the light bulb lights on. Oh, I must have forgotten because I was busy studying for our history test. Besides, I've always celebrated Valentine's Day alone. It was just any other day. I don't have anything prepared for you. What a great girlfriend I am. Morishita-san giggles and clutches at her chest in an exaggerated manner. I kinda expected that, but it still hurts. How could you? Sorry. Maybe I can give you something on White Day? I put the bag of chocolates onto my desk and join her against the wall, but I sit fairly far from her. I guess that works. Morishita-san, do you have a preference on chocolates? Milk? Dark? White? She's scrolling through her Instagram when she notices our distance. I told you to stop calling me Morishita-san, didn't I? Then, Hana. My sentence gets cut off when she strays from her phone and inches closer to me. Since you don't have chocolates for me, you can give me something else instead. Gosh, was that like a strike of lightning? I jump from the loudness, but Hinata straight up yelps and curls into a ball with her hands over her ears. Her head is down with her eyes shut tightly closed. Hana, what are you afraid of? Another flash and bang crashes outside the window, causing Hana to whimper. This strange turn of events puts me at a loss for words. At first I thought she was trying to be cute, but I can see her genuinely scared and actually shaking. Seeing her this scared switches on a protective mode I never knew I had, and I instantly hug her. I create a barrier around her and allow her to lean onto my chest. More cracks of thunder echo throughout the next 10 minutes, but this time less prominent. Her shivering has decreased, but it's evident she's still shaken to the core. It's okay. You're fine. You're gonna be okay. I stroke her shoulder and arm to comfort her, because seeing her this scared is scaring me too, honestly. Thunder and lightning can get frightening, but I didn't think she'd be this scared. Her eyes are still shut with her brows furrowed, obviously going through a hard time right now. This side of her is completely new to me, something I didn't know she had. My hands are still gently comforting her while a couple more faint thunderclaps I don't even know what I just said. Thunderclaps roar in the distance. Eventually, the lightning and thunder ceases and the sound of rain becomes a gentle pitter-patter against the roof. I take a closer look at Hana and find her sleeping soundly. Her brows are still slightly furrowed, but the grip on her head has loosened due to her unconsciousness. Her breathing becomes more stable and slow compared to her previous panicked breathing. She looks absolutely stunning, especially so because she's not making the usual snarky remarks. Her eyelashes are long and curled, and her cheeks rosy red. I hesitate to move in fear of waking up the sleeping beauty, but I strive to carefully reach for the blanket to cover her with. Is this what cat owners feel like when their cats sleep on them and they're reluctant to wake them up? To think she had this inside of her. I wonder if I'm the only one that has seen how truly vulnerable she actually is. As much as I don't want to move, this is quite an uncomfortable position and my arms are getting tired. Despite that, I can feel myself falling asleep to the dull rainfall noises. Soon my eyelids shut and I waltz into dreamland. I'm awakened by some rustling and I open my eyes to a dim room. Anna has woken up and I release my hug slightly to give her some moving room. My eyes wander to the bedside clock and see that we've been out for a good hour. Do you want to head home yet? Can we stay like this for a bit longer? She gets into a more comfortable position and rests her hands to her hair, to her raised knees. Her face features a glum and tired look, probably groggy from waking up. Of course, for as long as you want, until someone comes in and wonders what the heck we're doing. A long silence washes over us, so I break it. Are you okay? Yeah. Sorry about before. I've been afraid of thunder since I was little, and I clearly still am. It's alright, just glad to know you're okay. I feel the tension slowly leaving her body, which is a good sign. After all, you're my girlfriend. It's only natural to want to make you feel safe. In retrospect, that line was kind of cheesy, but what's said is said. Besides, how can I not after seeing her so frightened like that? Anyone would want to protect her. I can see her embarrassment. I feel a tinge of heat radiating from her face. I chuckle at her reaction to my embarrassing line, thinking that saying it paid off. Just don't tell anyone about this. Who am I going to tell? Your friends? I don't know. What do I even gain from that? She shrugs and lets the issue go. We stay in this position for another 15 minutes and I realize it's kind of late, with the sky already dark. I wonder if my mom is home yet. Maybe she already saw us in this questionable pose. I might have to think up a lie if she asks. You should head home. It's 5-something already. She lets go of me and looks me straight in the eyes. You always seem to be bent on telling me to leave. But no, I'm just worried for you. If I wanted you to leave, I would have stopped talking to you a long time ago. Okay. I mean, you post some weird stuff, but I don't hate you. I didn't want to linger on the topic too much or else it'll get later. Anyways, come on, let me walk you home. Let me get you home. I'll walk you to the station. Huh? You don't have to walk me there. You just have to walk back. It's fine. I just want to make sure you get home safe. Together we make our way to the station slowly. We walk side by side and once again our hands brush past each other frequently. I look down and gather the courage to initiate the hand-holding this time. Surprisingly, it was easier than I expected. A smile subconsciously forms from the triumph. I told you it was easy. But she moves even closer to me and now we walk with our arms glued together. The walk to the station seems shorter than it usually is when I make my way to school. We arrive at the gates and because I didn't think to bring my bus pass with me, I'm not able to escort her up to the platform. I curse at myself silently for forgetting it. I guess we'll say goodbye here. Yeah, get home safe, okay? She taps her bus pass on the sensor and walks to the gate, but I grab her arm before she continues walking. Ooh, they're having another kiss. I pull her close and kiss her on the lips as a goodbye kiss. Happy Valentine's Day, Hana. Hana's face lights up like Rudolph's nose and she begins losing her words. Yeah. In a flash, she quickly retreats and catches her train. Her being flustered for once confirms that she can be a pure maiden too, and seeing it makes my heart feel warm. This kiss felt different from the one we shared in the equipment storage. It made me feel a different kind of excitement, but I can't put my finger on it. Thinking on it now, I don't know what it got into me. Where I got the courage from tonight, I do not know. But what I do know is that I actually wanted to. There isn't anyone around either, so that might have been a reason why I managed to kiss her. Was it because I discovered her vulnerable side earlier? Was this so unexpectedly different from her normal haughty self? It was almost cute. I walk home with the thought of the kiss on my mind the entire time. And every minute of it, there's some kind of weird feeling in my chest. Is this what falling in love is? I recall our initial agreement and how I only said yes because I thought I could use her to try this whole dating thing out. That it was for the benefit to both of us. But now, the thought of using her like that makes me feel bad. It gives me a sour feeling in my chest I don't like one bit. I think I might be catching feelings. With a blink of an eye, it has already been a week since the lightning incident. The last day, I think I started truly having feelings for Hana. I change out of my indoor shoes and wait at my shoe locker to see if I can catch up to her. I'm hoping to maybe walk to the station with her, assuming she's not with her friends, which is pretty unlikely. I messaged her earlier in class asking if I could spend more time with her, but she hasn't replied yet. Just to make sure I didn't miss a reply, I checked my phone again. Read at 2:43 p.m. I look towards the staircase that she usually comes down from when she leaves, hoping to see her, but no luck. I guess she's busy today too. With my optimism gone, I head to the exit while pulling my umbrella out of my bag. I never liked the rain. Okay, so we're not to the end of the game, but I do have one prediction that I would like to see happen. I really hope that she gets a love letter in her locker, because the start of the game was with that, and she wanted a letter from a girl. I really hope they end it like that, where she gets a letter from Hana. I think that would be really cool. As I undo the Velcro strap on my umbrella, I spot Hana standing at the door staring at the drizzle. My face probably brightened up like a puppy seeing its owner, and I take a step forward to go greet her, but I stop in my tracks. In just a split second, the bliss I was experiencing completely disappears when I see someone approach her. It's not the usual guy she hangs out with, nor do I recognize him as a classmate, most likely from another class. He opens his umbrella and they chat for a bit. I'm too far to hear what they're saying, but she seems to be having a good time. After a few minutes, they head out into the rain together under his umbrella. Oh, that's not what she wants to see. This is why you don't have undercover relationships, because it just looks bad. I stare at them leave and feel question marks pop out of my head. She's probably just hanging out with them, right? Yeah, I'm sure that's all there is to it. I shake my head and try not to let the overthinking get to me. Without another thought, I follow their steps out the door and head home. I try not to think of other things, but what other things can I possibly think about when my girlfriend just left with some random guy? Especially when she never answered my message. Throughout the journey home, I try to keep my cool and prevent myself from thinking weird and bad thoughts, but I know deep down I'll just keep thinking those thoughts. Who would have thought I'd go from thinking of this dating thing as a joke to actually taking it seriously? I bury my head in my arms and do some breathing exercises to clear my mind. Wouldn't it be funny if this whole thing ended up being a one-sided thing? How pitiful. I haven't felt this insecure in so long. Just what kind of spell did she cast on me? Having enough of mucking around, I grab my homework and start working on it to get my mind off the whole thing. Might as well channel my worries into something else. After 2 hours straight of doing homework, I finally stretched my body out over from slouching over the desk. Doing homework definitely helped me to deter me from thinking dumb thoughts, but unfortunately I have to halt because my stomach's been grumbling. I head down to the kitchen for food and wonder why it's so quiet. Normally Mom would be causing a racket trying to cook or calling me for dinner, but there's no one around. All the rooms are empty, and I begin to wonder if suddenly I'm in a horror movie. Then I remember Mom's on a 3-day trip with some old classmates, and Dad's out camping. Now I was supposed to deal with dinner myself. I smacked my head for forgetting because I was occupied thinking about Hana earlier. Knowing that cooking isn't really my forte, I scramble for the cupboard and hope that there's still some cup noodles left. Thank heavens for having something go right for once today. Quickly I go to refill the electric boiler and try to turn the TV on, but the doorbell rings before I reach for the remote. I look out the door and contemplate whether or not I should open it. Maybe I should pretend no one's home. Take another 5 seconds to think about if I want to be or not. In the end, I decide against it and look through the eye hole to see who it is. To my surprise, I see a drenched figure with pink hair, and I immediately open the door to let her in. Anna. She stands there motionless with a sad smile. Heyo. I pull her into the house and close the door, shielding her from the rain as if she wasn't wet enough already. Wait here, I'll go get you a towel. I rush to my room and grab my bath towel, returning quickly to dry her head. What on earth happened? Her eyes avoid contact with mine as she looks away. Nothing. I barely hear her mumble, but that's not what's important right now. I start drying her hair with a towel and urge her to take off her jacket. Luckily, she was wearing one, and it shielded her uniform from getting soaked, or else she'd be sure to catch a cold. Let's head to my room and sit you down. Your hands are freezing. Boy, do I have a whole lot of questions for her. But first, she needs to warm up. You want something warm to drink? I'll go get you something from downstairs. Before I even take a step forward, she holds my arm surprisingly gentle, stopping me. Her eyes look less sad and back to her normal self, though a hint of misery still remains. I'm fine, just stay here. I turn to her and reassuringly hold her hands. This is my house. I'm not going anywhere. Her hand snakes out of my grasp and she takes a seat on my bed. I follow suit and sit next to her, worried about her situation. So can you tell me what happened? She leans back nonchalantly with her arms and looks to her side. It wasn't anything. You say that, but you were looking all miserable just 10 minutes ago. You're hiding something. No, I'm not. I guess I'll just have to pry. You were with someone earlier after school. She looks at me with a slightly shocked face after just being found out. I'm not going to assume anything, but what happened with him? Why are you drenched in here? You also left me unread. Hana sighs a guilty sigh and lies on her back. She stares at the ceiling and finally spills the beans. I guess you caught me. Caught you cheating? Yeah. No, I would never. I don't think she got my sarcastic tone. I'm joking. Your jokes aren't funny. Sorry. My friends hooked me up with that guy because he said he was interested. I said I wasn't interested, but they kept egging me on, and it was hard to say no because he was there with us. She twiddles her thumbs and looks down at the floor. So I went out with him today after school. I thought it'd just be, I don't know, a stroll in the park or something. But he took me to a love hotel. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is going on here? So you were cheating. No, I mean, kind of unintentionally, but still. What kind of perverted takes a girl that he just met to a love hotel? I didn't do anything with him, I swear. I freaked out and bailed before we even stepped into the place. Trust me. Her eyes plead mercy. They're screaming, please believe me. Of course I believe her. She wouldn't be here soaked otherwise. I blink in shock at what she just went through and slump in disbelief. I face her and see that her face is still filled with remorse. As long as you're okay. If he had laid a hand on you and hurt you in any way, I'm prepared to give him hell. Hana's lips begin quivering and tears start forming. She lunges at me with a hug, throwing both of our bodies onto the bed. I start hearing tiny, muffled sobs and realize she's crying. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I'm sorry. My hands automatically go to hug and her. I think it's supposed to be hug her and pat her head. Seeing her like this hurts more than the fact that she didn't tell me. It's fine. What's important is that you're alright. I let her lie on me and release her emotions, my hands continuously stroking her back to try to calm her. Hana's crying settles down after a few minutes and she looks at me while sniffling. Her eyes are red from crying, but her stare is intense. Did I do something wrong? Shut up. Your boobs are soft. You just have to ruin the sad moment, don't you? I scowl and push her off onto the bed and put my arms across my chest to defend them. She starts laughing, wiping the sorrowful tears that are now mixed with joy. If you have the energy to be this playful, then I think you can head home just fine, right? Who says I'm going home? In one swift motion, she climbs on top of me and looms over. The smirk she displays tells me right away that she's teasing me again. She's trying to elicit another flustered reaction from me. I know her tricks by now. As if her bold move makes me want to one-up her, I reverse our positions and pin her down. I successfully wipe her cheeky look off and surprise her. Good, because it's just the two of us here tonight. Hana's face turns beet red and her eyes are as big as golf balls. The complete silence in my room allows me to hear my heartbeat bursting through my chest. I'm sure she can hear it too. It's out of character for me to be doing this. I'm panicking now because I have no idea what to do after pinning her down. It wasn't really my intention on doing anything to her anyways. It was meant to be a scare. I retreat and fall onto the spot next to her on the bed. I'm joking. Well, I'm not joking that we're alone here tonight, but I would never do anything like that without... Do anything you wouldn't like without asking. What if I want to continue? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Kind of game is this? What was that? Hana then shifts closer to me and rests her head under my chin. Nothing. My eyes squint at her famous nothing line, like she does. Why does she always mumble at the most crucial times? It feels like I'm missing out on something important. We stay quiet for a bit, and my eyes slowly start closing from the long day today. Right when I'm about to fall asleep, Hana starts a conversation. Why didn't you call out to me? What? Why didn't you call out to me if you saw me with that other guy after school? I wanted to. So why didn't you? You didn't look like you were in misery. I thought you were just hanging out with a friend or something. She goes silent again. Sorry. Stop saying sorry. If only I had noticed you were there. I was standing behind you near our shoe locker, so there's no way you couldn't have seen me. Or there's no way you could have seen me. If only I'd looked around, even for a second. Just stop thinking about it. You're here now. You're fine now. Once again, she stops talking, and the only thing you can hear is the rain showering down outside. Why don't you take a nap? It's been a long day for you. Put my arm around her and pull her closer to me. I stroke her back to reassure her that she's fine. She snuggles up to me, and I can feel her slowly breathing against me. At this point, I've forgotten all about dinner and become preoccupied with coaxing her to sleep. We can worry about food later after her nap. You know, this whole dating thing wasn't really spontaneous. I actually had a feeling you were gay, or bisexual, though I wasn't 100% sure until I caught you staring at me in class that one day. What if I was really just admiring your beauty? Girls do that all the time. Yeah, but girls are either born gay or bisexual, never straight. For real? Where'd you get that from? It was an article online I came across. I hate to tell you that reading an article online doesn't make it true. Interesting. I'll have to look it up after. But me approaching you was a huge gamble, though even if you weren't gay, I could have easily played it off as a prank. Well, you were pretty determined to get me to admit my sexuality. I just wanted someone that was like me. Being in the closet is tiring. You don't say. I know exactly how that feels. When did you find out you were gay? It was always in the back of my mind, kind of. Paid no mind to it, though. It was just natural to think of girls that way. I ended up dating guys, but I never managed to develop feelings for them. Then every time they'd want to try out sex, I couldn't do it. I felt bad for them, but I couldn't. Obviously, I broke up with them after all, and ever since then, I've just been single, pretending to have a boyfriend from another school, only to break up with him and be single again. Rinse and repeat. Must be tough being popular. What about you? Me? I think back on when I realized the gay hiding inside of me, since I bopped out of the womb. Ever since I was a kid, basically, though, I hid it very well. Honestly, I didn't expect this dating thing to last very long. I thought you'd get tired of me and my antics. It's pretty close to stop caring altogether, especially in the beginning. Maybe I should have been nicer to you from the start. But I only wanted to date for the sake of dating a girl, an experiment. I never had plans for it to go this far. I was supposed to just try it out briefly, but look where I ended up. In the end, her sentence stopped short, leaving me on a cliffhanger, but to be fair, I couldn't quite hear what she said because I was also falling asleep. After seeing yet another cute side of her, I couldn't help but give her a kiss on her forehead. She seemed really stressed and worried earlier, even though I told her that I understood her situation and I wouldn't give her hell for it. Knowing that she kept me in her mind puts a kind of fuzzy feeling in my chest. Or could it be her continuous warm breath on me that's making me feel that way? But either way, I couldn't stop smiling. I landed another kiss on her head. Thanks to her, I've grown to be fond of kisses. Soon enough, my heavy eyelids give way and I join her in dreamland. Gosh, that's like the best feeling to take a nap with somebody like that. Like the saying goes, time goes by fast when you're having fun. Graduation is literally right around the corner. In just another week, I'll be out of this hellhole. By now, Hana and I have grown a lot closer. Although I still don't go on many dates with her, texting her has become as much more fun, even if it's about the dumbest things. She'd either bother me about some meme she found, or if she needs help on her homework. She makes the day go by more pleasantly. I close my shoe locker. Okay, what is the sentence trying to say? I'm so lost. My shoe locker to change into my indoor ones, but I see a note left on top of them. Okay. Is this it? Is this the prediction? Thinking it's just another love letter, I take it out of the trash. However, the big black letters on it catch my eyes. On the piece of paper, it was a printed photo of our kiss at the empty station on Valentine's Day. Scribbled on top was the word dyke. Oh no! I thought this was from Hana. Oh no. My heart stops for a good 2 seconds. I slam the piece of paper down in my locker. I look around to see if the perpetrator stuck around the crime of the scene. No one. Only the eyes of bystanders and their whispers. Crap. I crumple the pieces of paper and swiftly switch into my indoor shoes and head to my classroom. As I make my way to the classroom, all eyes settle on me and I hear whispers whiz by me. Did you see the photo? Can you believe it? No way, the silent beauty is a lesbian. Shh, she's coming this way. They halt their gossiping when I throw my dagger eyes as I pass by. Before I step inside the door, I overhear Hana's voice and her posse as I hide behind the sliding door. Oh my gosh, did she, force herself on you? You must have felt so terrified. No, it's okay to tell us, if she's blackmailing you or something, we'll deal with it for you. Yeah, don't let a dyke boss you around. I flinch at the word dyke. My palms are sweaty from the nervousness. Word has spread around that I'm a lesbian, also known as my worst fear. All my years of hiding it gone down the drain. I take a deep breath and I try to hold myself from near breaking down on the spot. My nails dig deep into my palms as I tightly ball my fists from frustration. It's over now. There's no other way to deal with this than to own it, or somehow make up a believable story. Frankly, I don't know what to do now. I take another deep breath and brace myself. To be honest, I just want to go home. Okay, this is the test. If Hana really cares about you, she's gonna own it. She's gonna say, yeah, no, we kissed on purpose because she's my girlfriend. Or she's gonna totally throw you under the rug in front of her friends. And, if she was gonna do that, I would break up with her. I would say, you're not worth it if you're not gonna defend me like that. Once my foot steps in the room, everyone's chatter hushes and all the eyes are on me. I shoot a cold glance towards Hana's group. Hana is sitting there with her eyes wide with worry, while everyone else looks at me with varying degrees of disgust. I try to coolly walk by them, but my shaky hands say otherwise. I steady them by holding onto my bag straps. The whispers continue, albeit quieter, when I sit down on my desk. I pull out a novel from my bag to make it look like I'm preoccupied. All the students take their seats once the bell rings, and the classroom is rid of the murmuring rumors. For the rest of the school day, my mind was wandering in and out, figuring out how to deal with this. Throughout every class, I was just trying to come to terms of owning up to it. What else can I possibly do? I might as well own up to it proudly. High school is almost over. End it with a bang, right? After fourth period, I decide to skip class and run home. I don't want to be surrounded by my malicious murmurs anymore. I want to go home and cry. Yeah, I could see if it came out that way and people are insulting you and calling you, slurs, calling you a dyke. Spend hours bundled under covers and bawling my eyes out, pausing to think straight, and then bawling some more. I'm glad my parents aren't home right now, or else I wouldn't be able to do this at all. Another reason why I should cry now rather than later. Suddenly, the doorbell rings, but I ignore it. Probably some sort of advertiser. I continue to sulk and sniffle under my blanket. But then my phone rings and I see Hana's name on the caller ID. I want to answer her, but at the same time I don't want to talk to anyone right now. The phone continues ringing and I continue staring at it, contemplating whether or not to answer. It stops. Even if I did answer, I wouldn't know what to say to her. My brain is too much of a mess right now to even form coherent words. I sigh and pick up my phone to turn it off, but it goes off again, with Hana's name on the screen again. I cave in and answer the phone, hoping her voice would comfort me in some way. Hinata. Hi. Hinata, are you home? No one's opening the door. What? You're outside? Yes, now open the door. I need to see you. I hang up and rush downstairs to let her in. There she is with her usually neatly styled pink hair ruffled, huffing and puffing like she's out of breath. Hinata! She charges at me for an incredibly tight hug, causing me to actually wince in pain. Hinata. Oh my god, are you okay? Did anyone do anything to you? Did anyone hurt you? You'd be the first to hurt me with how tight you're hugging me. She lets me go and holds onto my hands instead. Sorry, I just got so worried, but more importantly, are you okay? Please tell me you're okay. Before I answer her, I close the front door to keep the still slightly chilly March air out of my house. I don't know. Hinata? Her soft voice and touch soothes my aching heart. She takes her sleeve and wipes the dried tears that rolled down my face earlier. I keep my eyes to the ground because I feel like I'd cry again if I looked at her. We're gonna clear it up with everyone. I'll tell them the truth. No, don't. I'll take the blame. Hell no, that's not what happened in the picture. Everyone already thinks I forced myself on you in that picture. I'll just admit that I'm gay, loud, and proud. That way you can keep your image. You're someone with a reputation. You're somebody... You're far more important. I'm nobody. It's fine. Hana shakes her head madly in disapproval while tears form in her eyes. No, it's not fine. I'm not going to let you soil your image because of my actions. I was careless and kissed you when I thought there was no one around. What about you? You spent so much effort to keep your secret safe, and now it's spilled, and the entire school is going to turn on you. I can handle it. I don't have any close friends that will all of a sudden turn their backs on me because I came out as a lesbian. You, on the other hand. Anna's lips shut tight. She's probably envisioning herself going from a plethora of friends to virtually zero. That would take a toll on anyone. I don't want you to go through that. Seeing you get betrayed would hurt me more than all of this. I'm not going to let anything get to me. I made my choice. If I act confident enough, people won't do anything to me. People only bully others when they can't stand up for themselves. If I'm aloof and act like I don't care, then they have nothing to feed off of. Of course, that's the ideal situation. Things will probably not go that way, but that's the best argument I can use to convince her to go with this plan. Her eyes dart around and she chews on her lips deep in thought. Maybe she needs one more push. Besides, there's only 1 week left till graduation. That's not long. After this, all of this won't matter, literally. Just go on every day like it's every other day for now. It's not like we hang out at school anyways. You can still text me, you know? I'll probably still call you in the evenings or something. I still don't think Anna trusts me. I bring myself to look her straight in the eyes. Hers are shiny wet, but I'd be the pot calling the kettle black if I said mine weren't. I flash her a confident smile, but I'm not sure if I pulled it off well. She pouts with her brows furrowed, evidently still skeptical of my plan. Then she hugs me again, and this time the right amount of tightness, and I hug her back. I'm gonna use all my power not to let anyone bully you. You're not gonna be painted as the bad guy on my watch. And if anyone does bully you, I'll personally punch them out. With what muscles? Muscles you don't have, miss. I skip out in gym class by hiding in the gym storage room. Don't call me out like that. She softly giggles, creating music to my ears. Hana being there just washes all my worries away. I'm touched and grateful that she came to check up on me. Truly blessed. I wish this embrace would last forever. Hey Hinata. I love you. The 3 words consisting of 8 letters takes me aback, as this is the first time I've heard her say them directly. There were always the abbreviated or quick love yous through rhymes that never really sounded real, but never from her mouth. Hearing those 3 words coded with her voice for the first time brings me a stomach full of butterflies. It feels like the time we kissed on Valentine's Day. Maybe even better. I can't help but smile, even if that kiss was the kiss that got me through this whole ordeal. I love you too. I really hope they're not going to play it off. Like, I feel like Hana needs to say something. Take responsibility, you know? And, like, am I in the wrong, like, for thinking that? Like, I feel like I'm justified in saying that. I feel like you should be able to own up to it, you know? Like, don't make Hinata look like the bad girl, you know? The next few days were horrible. The whispers were never ending, and the stares caused me to feel incredibly anxious. But I had to hold my head up high. I can't let it get to me. If I do, I lose. Every day I look at the calendar on my phone and count the days down. There are literally just 5 more days till graduation. Hinata, you have to hang in there. I come out of the washroom stall and wash my hands at the sink. I hear footsteps nearing and I mentally prepare myself to deal with some judging looks. But instead, my favorite person on earth appears before me. Hinata. Shh, it's Mizutani-san. I encourage her to use a more hushed tone in case someone walks in and hears our conversation. That's the least of my worries right now. Did anything bad happen to you today? Well, if you consider having my desk written on and more nasty notes in my locker, and having my indoor shoes almost ruined as bad, then yes. Oh my god, what the hell? It's okay, I snatched a shoe back and threatened to create a scene in front of a teacher passing by. They backed down after that. It's kind of fun, almost, but only because it went well. Hana latches onto my arm and gives me a sorrowful look. You shouldn't be going through this. And neither should you. I feel like you'd have even worse stuff done to you. Your fall would be way too high. It's because they don't know much about me, and that I can finally pull out my no BS card. The only reputation I had was just a sitting statue that looks somewhat pretty. That's it. Well, you are really pretty after all. My cheeks rise in temperature hearing her sudden compliment. Anyways, I'm fine. Are you okay? You're all good, right? I'm dying seeing you go through all this and not being able to do anything about it. Just 5 more days, it'll all be over then. But a group of girls' voices are heard nearing the washroom, and I immediately retract my hand from Hana's grip. So, like, he was totally fronting, saying he had a lot of experience, but, like, he did not. No way, what a dunce. I know, right? But he's really cute, so I'll let it slide. Oh my god, that's so shallow. Hey, you never know, but maybe he's actually the one and I end up falling for him, yeah? Their laughter stops when they see me and Hana. Oh, Hana! And Mizutani-san. Hana, should you really be alone with a sexual harasser? Hana opens up her mouth to say something, but I walk past the group and take my leave. I don't even bat an eye at them, but they're giving me judging stares. I overhear their conversation as I make my way out. Hana, she didn't do anything to you, right? No, I'm fine. You're much more timid now. You don't even hang out with us that often anymore. You must be so shook from what Miss Sexual Harasser did to you. What? No, it was just a kiss. I don't know why everyone's making a big deal out of it. Like, chill out. I'm not even bothered by it. Why are other people getting their panties in a bunch for me? So annoying. I guess it doesn't matter much to you anyways. I'm sure someone else already stole your first kiss. But who knew she was a lesbian? I wonder if she had a crush on you this whole time and finally made the move. I don't know why everyone's shocked. It's 2019, people. Get with the program. There's tons of other people like her out there. You're right, Hana. Their voices tune out as I stray further away from the washroom and chuckle hearing Hana try to dissipate the situation. Just 5 more days. 5 more days. I'm telling you, Hana needs to just say something. Like, why would you let her go through all this? The long-awaited day has arrived, the day of graduation, and the day where I'm finally free. The past few remaining days surprisingly did not go too bad. People stopped caring about me because I didn't give them the fun that they wanted. Maybe it was also Hana pulling some strings, trying her best not to make me out to be the bad guy. Though there are some homophobic people in the world, I guess. That there is. Us students begin filing in as the graduation ceremony starts. After singing the national anthem, the ceremony stays awfully solemn most of the time. I don't know how speeches or procedures can last for hours on end. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I tried my best to stay awake and not seem rude. Once the ceremony procedures are over, the graduates start filing out one by one with their graduation certificate in hand. With that marks the end of my high school life. I planned it to be an incredibly boring and dry high school life, but it was going just as planned. Until Hana showed up. And then all this. Definitely not anything I expected at all. The other students all gather in their groups and begin taking commemorative photos with each other and teachers. I spy Hana with her huge group of friends and with a ton of boys fighting to give her the second button on their uniform. My gaze is interrupted when my math teacher pats me on the shoulder. Good job, Mizutani-san. Oops, I just totally skipped that. There was no context given, but I assume she means good job on graduating. Thank you, Miss Kaneko. You've endured well. It'll probably be easier from now on. Maybe. But I hope you live a happy life with one that you love, and don't let society tell you no. She gives me a reassuring nod and leaves me alone, still clueless. Miss Kaneko can be awkward sometimes. She's great at explaining math, but when it comes to conversation... Wait, the one I love and don't let society tell you no? Could it be that... The vibration of my phone in my skirt pocket interrupts my deep thoughts. A message from Hana. Meet me at the school gates. Meet at the school gates? I look around to find Hana, but it seems she's disappeared in the time I was talking to Miss Kaneko. I reply asking why, but I don't get a response, so I do as she says and wait by the gates. Crowds of students and teachers have migrated here, and it's packed as crowded as ever. Underclassmen are all crying and begging their beloved clubmates not to graduate. Groups of friends shed tears as they go their separate ways. People are even taking their last chance to confess to each other. I look around to see if I can spot Hana, but she's nowhere in sight. Why did she tell me to come here? Okay, good. She's gonna do something. Good. A screech sounds through the school intercom, grabbing everyone's attention. Ahem, good day. This is Morishita Hana of this year's graduating class. I'm here to tell everyone that boy Mizutani Hinata to F off. Okay, I mean, I wish you would have done it sooner. Like, I'm not one to say, like, just because you make up for it in the end, like, doesn't mean your actions before are, like, forgiven. I mean, obviously you should, like, always forgive somebody in the end, like, if they try to make up and you know, do the right things. But I'm always a firm believer you should try to do the right thing in the first place instead of trying to make up for it later, like, if you have the option to. My mouth opened wide with shock, as did everyone else. She never sexually harassed me. All the rumors are false. But if you have something against lesbians, come talk to me about it, because the only truth is that she's my... Oh, there's a lot more F words in this than some of their other games. That she's my effing girlfriend and I effing love her. Hana, you gotta go. The teacher's coming. Oops, I got found out. Morishita-san, stop right there. By now, everyone's going crazy over the news that was just broadcasted over the entire school. People are having an uproar, especially the guys that are trying to get into her pants. The gossip begins again, and I can't do anything else but stand there and look dumb as heck. I have no idea she would tell the entire school, at least not like this. I give her props for her being this brave, though. A few minutes later, Hana runs out of the school entrance doors and heads towards my direction. Morishita. Hana-san, come back here this instant. Run! What? She grabs my hands and pulls me in her runaway scheme. Out of the school gates we run, into where? I don't know. Oh my god. Hana, what were you thinking? Nothing. I wasn't thinking at all. All I know is it feels damn great saying it out loud. I start to scold her for pulling such a dumb and uncalculated move, but I refrain and laugh along instead. It was such a Hana thing to do. Always having her own agenda, not caring about what others want, and of course, always having things go her way. But despite all that, I still love her. Okay. I guess that ending's fine. I mean, if that's how you want to do it, that's fine. 3 months later in June. Okay, the ones I circled in red are the cheaper ones, and the blue circles are the closer ones. Ooh, I like their outfits. Those are cute. We still aren't financially stable enough to get a place yet. They're doing an after story. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I love when games do after stories. Like, they don't just end it after like a confession or something, you know? But think, it'll be much easier to get to school and we'll get to see each other every day. Unless you don't want to see me every day. She throws her signature puppy eyes at my way. I sigh and push the brochures to the side. Yes, I do, but I'd say let's wait till maybe in the winter or something. It's only been a few months into university and we're still getting the groove of it, but I don't want to stress either of us even more. Psh, fine. All that research was for nothing. We can still put it to use when December rolls around. The waitress arrives with our steaming food and leaves without a word. Like clockwork, Hana stabs the cherry tomatoes off my dish and pops them into her mouth. Oh yes, I saw Miss Kaneko at 106 Shibuya the other day. Oh? Yeah, she was with this other woman who was practically clinging onto her, linked arms and hand-holding and all. I take a bite out of my pasta and recall the last time I interacted with Miss Kaneko. Alright, graduation day. Maybe she's just a friend. Oh, no, they were not acting like friends at all. So you're suggesting they're an item? Mm-hmm. They could have just been really close friends. You know, my gaydar never fails me. I guess. Miss Kaneko never really came off as a lesbian to me, though maybe my gaydar doesn't work as well as Hana's. That's interesting, I guess. Her last words to me make more sense that way. Last words? Nah, it was nothing. She was kind of awkward. Hana doesn't continue prying and goes back to eating her food. Anyways, how are your courses going? Are you still slacking? I'm doing fine, thank you very much. Surprisingly fine, actually. Good, because I'm not able to help you with your homework now. This isn't high school. We don't take the same courses anymore. I know. What about you? Still surviving? Yeah, aside from the long commute every morning. Her face brightens up like a newly changed light bulb, and that is why we need to find an apartment together. She slyly brings the brochures back into view and begins telling me about each one. You know, I'm still set on the idea of deciding in winter, right? Yeah, but it doesn't mean we can't have a sneak peek. These places are probably going to be sold out by then. Ooh, don't be a party pooper. Then let me pretend we're a married couple looking for a new place. So this place has 2 rooms, 1 dining room, and 1 kitchen. Though I was thinking just 1 room would be perfectly fine. It'd be way less expensive that way. We can just share a bed, no problem. I roll my eyes and shake my head at her fantasy, but decide to play along. Married couple, huh? And to think just 6 months ago we were strangers that probably would have never had anything to do with each other. I mean, to be fair, I met my wife and then we got married within 6 months. So it's not unrealistic, you know, to be making plans like this. It's not unrealistic. Just 2 desperate lesbians wanting a girlfriend. And here we are, not so desperate lesbians with a girlfriend. What's wrong? Is there something on my face? Nothing. That's my line. Well, what's yours is mine and what's mine is yours. Isn't that right, wifey? Her face flushes red as she attempts to get back on topic. Anyways. I wonder what would happen if I didn't check her out in class that one day. Would we still have found each other in the end, or would it have gone in different directions and never be associated in any way? No, let's not think about that. I like it the way it is now. Hey, are you paying attention at all? Yes I am, go on. So as I was saying... Okay, so there was a lot of stuff I didn't like about the game. Okay, let me say I don't... It's not necessarily the game, I just didn't like the situation. It frustrated me. But, you know, the game's fine, and the writing's fine. I don't mind an author writing something like that, because it's like, it's fiction, right? But it just frustrates me to see it actually happening. So anyways, let's see. Left click again. for the box to reappear. Oh, frick. I can't believe I did that. Is there any way to go back? Anyways, thank you for reaching the end of I Can't Believe the most popular girl in class is a lesbian. Just like me. As always, we hope you enjoyed this little story, and we hope that you continue to support us. At first, we want to make the story the most ridiculous story ever, with tons of question mark moments. I mean, I can still see you did that a little bit sometimes. But obviously, we toned it down. We wanted to poke fun at or pay homage to this ridiculously long, light novel titles and stories and make you go, how? That's some anime MCBS. Of course, the ridiculousness only lasted for a little while at the beginning, and the story ends up just being as cheesy and generic as the other ones, our specialty. The music fitting right might be a bit iffy for this game. We apologize. I actually thought the music was good. I liked it for the most part. I feel like it actually was really nice. This kinetic visual novel was submitted late because of our busy schedule, but better late than never. It's fortunate that we couldn't debut our game with the release of the Yuri Game Jam 2018, so if you enjoy this game, please spread the word. Of course, that's what I'm all about. What do you mean? I really wish I could go back, but unfortunately, I just skipped past it. I was just trying to get rid of the dialogue box. It's the last time I'll do that. So anyways, I'm going to give some thoughts before we end the video here. I liked both the main characters. I thought they were good. I also like that Miss Kaneko. I think she might be a character from one of the previous games. It seemed like she was, or at least she, like, because I've seen like just previews of some of the other games, and she looked like that orange-haired girl. That's kind of how they were describing her from, like, I guess the game before this one. But it was good. I mean, obviously, like, I disagree with the actions that Hana was doing. Like, I never feel like you should just, you know, not defend, you know, your girlfriend like that. I just felt like that was wrong. I obviously she made up for it in the end, but like, you know, Hinata still had to go through all that torture in the meantime, and still had to be like looked down upon, and people were calling her a sexual harasser. Like, it's one thing to like just be accused of being a lesbian, like, okay, you know, whatever. But like, to be called a sexual harasser is kind of a big deal, and it's like, you know, you could have actual like consequences for that. It just seemed not so great that she wasn't defending her like that until the very end. So I disagree with that. I mean, that's not a writing problem. That's just like a character problem. Like, I just didn't like that she did that. So it makes me like her character a little bit less. But, you know, the ending was sweet. I liked that they had a little afterwards type thing. I always love when stories do that. Like Clanad, if you ever watched that, has like a whole 24 episode season dedicated to that, and it has OVAs and things like that. I love stuff like that. I love when they really go into the relationship after like that initial love stage. So I'll definitely give them points for that. And of course, you know me, I'm not a huge fan of the school setting for these kind of reasons, because like kids are very judgmental and things like that, whereas I think adults don't care if other adults are gay for the most part. I mean, some people will, but like for the most majority, I don't think they care. Just like, whatever, you know, be happy, love who you love. But anyways, guys, this video is actually a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought this game was a little bit shorter, which it is, because I mean, it's about 2 hours instead of 2.5 hours, but still pretty long, and it was good. I can see why a lot of people would say this is their favorite game of Team Anpim's. Like, let's just say that. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. It's a pretty good game. Go check out Team Anpim and all their other games. They have lots of games like this. They're all like very similar, but in a good way. Like, it doesn't feel like they're the same game, but it feels like they're very similar. So it's like, you know, if you like one game, you'll probably like the rest. So I really enjoyed that. It's very consistent and nice. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.